Hey everybody, I'm Rick Gilbert.
I'm Vic Leona.
And we are R&D Choreography. And today we're here to talk about a super common piece of choreography, something that comes up in shows all the time. And it's so basic and simple that a lot of time fight choreographers don't even get called in. Actors get told, oh, just do this. And that thing is a pull, where you're pulling somebody either to you or out of the way, a yank. You know, just grab them and pull them. That's the technique we want to look at. And it's surprisingly complicated, but also has a couple of simple things we can teach today that will make it safe and cool looking and much more realistic. So, first thing is, let me show you what the problem is. And I'm talking about a move, let's just do one correctly for now.
Yep.
Something like this. Get out of my way. Right? So this uses other principles that we talk about in other videos about being stubborn and providing good power generation, stuff like that. But today we're specifically looking at the safety of Vic's arm, because the problems with this move are two. First is the grab itself. A lot of times this is where somebody gets hurt. I'm grabbing his arm. And especially if it's a smaller person being pulled, this squeeze here, right, leaves four little white bruises on the inside of his arm and one on the side, because I'm grabbing and squeezing, right? Because that's what the move looks like, is this. It looks like I'm grabbing and pulling, right? And in order to get that pull to have any force, I have to be squeezing pretty hard, or I'll just lose my grip. So that squeeze can really hurt people, and it absolutely should never do that. And the other problem with this is if I get that squeeze good and tight and I pull really hard, elbow, shoulder, I'm yanking on those joints, and that can injure those joints pretty seriously. So what we're doing is not that. It's something completely different that makes a lot more sense. First, the grab, which uses what we call a no hospital hand, where my thumb is pulled up against my hand and I reach down to the inside and I grab his arm. Vic's response to this is key. When somebody grabs your arm, you don't want that to happen, so you yank it back.
The trick is that I'm yanking back against his hand. Instead of yanking back this way, I'm yanking towards myself.
Now we've got this little L that his arm is formed, like a ballet bar, and my hand is hooked on top of it. I'm not squeezing with my thumb. I'm pulling, and now what I'm pulling against is essentially dance frame. He's keeping tension in his arm, arm, so that his arm stays in this shape. So now when I'm pulling on him, I don't have to squeeze at all. I don't have to squeeze his forearm. If I want to get that thumb around the other side, I can, but it's just for show. The real pull is happening here with my fingertips, and it's happening on this dance frame that he's created, this tension in his arm. So now, rather than pulling on the joints, I'm pulling on the muscles. And now when I want to pull him, I lean back, and if I'm going to pull him past me, I lean back, I step out of the way, and then I can go. And I can do this very gently, like here, like we just did in practice. But as we get comfy with it, we'll build up the power so that I'll pull harder and harder until Vic feels like that's comfortable. But it's really a good solid pull. But I can pull very hard because I'm not going to injure his elbow or shoulder. I'm just pulling on his musculature.
Do I talk about stopping me on the other side?
Yeah, so the other place that's a danger is, and the principle that's at play here, is shared balance. We like to see Vic lose his balance. It looks cool, right? But he's not losing it, he's giving it to me. And like anything that I borrow, I would like to return it in the same condition in which I borrowed it. So I grab Vic.
I provide dance frame.
I start leaning my weight back to get him moving. I step out of the way, and then I stop him. It's my job to keep Vic from going flying into a wall or whatever, right?
But it's also important for me to maintain dance training because if I let go, he has nothing to stop me with.
Right? If he just relaxes his arm, I lose my grip.
Which incidentally is how we make this look more exciting, is that once we practice this technique enough that we're comfortable, he can start me going, and he's always gonna try to stop me on the other side.
This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stop him from moving and then let go once the ride has come to a full and complete stop.
But if as the person who's being thrown or being pulled, decide that I have my balance, I'm comfortable taking it back, I can end this technique by releasing this grip, knowing full well that I can stop myself on the other side. If I am not confident that I can stop myself on the other side, I will rely on my partner to stop me.
And even in performance, I don't assume that Vic's got this, right? Instead, I'm trying to stop him every time. And he is gonna use that help or not as he thinks best.
I'm in control in that sense, that I can choose whether or not I want that help or that I've got it on my own.
So what that looks like when we throw him and do it, up to speed, is this. Now, it looks like I threw him. In fact, I was trying to stop him, and he slipped his arm out and went.
Yep.
And it's as simple as that. Let's review the key things. The grab, no hospital hand, right? Everyone's heard this before, but just in case, hospital, no hospital, thumb in so I don't jam my thumb when I reach for it.
I'm not giving him my arm either. I'm gonna make him reach for it.
Yeah, that looks silly, right? If this move is not this, it's not him reaching for it and me grabbing. I don't know why we would do that. I reach for it with that hand.
And
That's
then I
one.
pull my arm away.
That counter is step 2.
Creates this L shape.
3, I start leaning to break his momentum. He starts moving, I get out of the way, and I stop it.
And if I've got my balance back on the flight here, I simply let go.
Boom. And that's it. Simple as that.